My Gavan and Melanine, and well met indeed. I'm Arachir Galadrithan, head of the modding team behind Divide and Conquer. Welcome back to the same as we continue on as Ered Luin. Grindfarn the Conqueror, long becoming our, or fast becoming our greatest general, is leading our push and attack on Angmar, because in the last episode we finally broke the alliance with them, because the campaign, let's be honest, was getting a little too simple. We are gearing up to retake the city of Buzradum from the Balrog so that we can get Beleriand and Honor Guard units out, but until that time we are preparing our assault on Angmar. And their answer has come. Drangu the Bloody, one of their better generals, has come to attack us and interestingly decided to throw away his numerical advantage in favour of fighting at night time. So, I mean, each to their own. I'm not really sure why. Afanazir will be taking part, however, but Captain Saithich, Captain Gustau, and Captain Munderek, none of them will be taking part. You do note, however, that Drangu the Bloody does outnumber us, and he's got a full army of humans with only 3, including himself, 4, orc units, 2 of which are trash. Hunters and fighters are not worth our time. He's got a couple of units of pikes, which will be a problem, but you will note the black and blue colouring of the Iron Crown warriors, who actually are relatively good. We are, of course, dwarves. So no matter how good these humans think they are, they will not be good enough to smash through the might of Grindfarn and the dwarves of Ered Luin. So it should be a relatively easy battle, but we have got 4 units of cavalry, and I'm obviously notoriously bad at commanding cavalry in large battles because I don't pay attention enough, and I'm not fast enough to move my mouse around and command where I'm needed. So those cavalry units may well prove to be basically useless. Every time I see that image, I think that whoever created the Dol Guldur battle map must have used that image as their base, because the hill on the battle map is that extreme and that ridiculous. So here we are. We are defending is our only saving grace. The reinforcing army is just 1 general, so we're not bothered about that. So we can move where we like and take up our positions on a hill. There isn't really a fantastic hill. Where we start seems to be the best bet, really, because we've got a bit of a peak just here. So that is where we shall stand. So let's move everyone away for now and then reposition. So let's go with a good old classic from Rome Total War and put all of the pike units in a nice circle around us. Thus eliminating the enemy's ability to flank us. There's a couple more pikes. Oh, hang on, look, we've got another Longbeard phalanx. There's a theory that someone has posited in the comments on a previous video that the AI favours flanking on the human player's left, so over here, which is their right. And the suggestion put forth for that reasoning is because the general stands on the left-hand side of his battalion, so it's more likely that they will catch your general unawares if they come round your left-hand side. So if we take that as actual scientific theory, then let's put our strongest units on the left and test it out. Now, we're going for a full noob circle today, so we can almost cover ourselves completely, save for a bit of a break at the back there. We've got siege equipment finally, but do note that Dwarven Ballistae aren't any better on the battle map. They are cheaper, I believe they're cheaper, and I think they train quicker than other siege. They certainly have an economic boost to their siege, but they do not have a battle map boost to their siege. So our Ballistae are the same as any others, but they'll still do us wonders today. We've only got 3 ranged units, which is that's a bit interesting. Now, cavalry, can we hide you in the trees over here? Yes, we can. Fantastic. So at least we can get the element of surprise when we. I have no doubt that we don't use those units to their full potential, and then our generals and our other units can just kind of. Let's put the 2 weakest ones at the back in case the enemy does come that way. We don't want to waste 2 stronger units on rear guard duty when there's a strong chance the AI won't come that way anyway.
The enemy
And we're
bringing
off.
in reinforcements.
And their reinforcements are coming in from miles away, so that's no problem. So here we are. Men of Ruda. I really like the Angmar roster, I have to say. Ever since they were redone and they're no longer just a bland orc faction. Oh, they've also upgraded their units. Look at that. Iron Crown, Longbowmen and Halberdiers coming through with their Angmarim plate. That looks fantastic. And then the orcs on the wargs charging through. It's like a cinematic, this, isn't it? It's like we're watching a movie. Rudar savages with their what would you call that type of club? I have absolutely no idea. Does it have a special name, or would you just call it a club? It looks cool, nevertheless, in whatever its name is. And then there's some of their low-tier trash units, the Thralls. Yes, I thought they were called Thralls, but then I was thinking Thralls might have looked Rudauran. But no, they are Thralls. So, our units should hopefully be firing, and our siege should, one hopes, be amongst that number. Yes, they are. Fantastic. Square into the enemy archers. Couldn't hope for better. Although, actually, if you target, please, the pikemen, because they will be this... No, they move really quickly. That's a really stupid idea. Target the... anyone you want. Just keep doing what you're doing. I'm micromanaging you and making you worse. We'll let the enemy come and break upon us, and then when the time is right, we shall unleash the tide of our mercenary cavalry. And now, I call them a tide, but that's a joke. This is quite possibly one of the worst cavalry units the game has to offer. So as the dwarves, you really do have to scrape the barrel in terms of cavalry. But it is, this is a prime example that you do get cavalry as the dwarves, and in version 5 we have made it slightly easier to get cavalry, particularly as Erebor, who previously only got Dale cavalry from a single region, and now they get them as mercenaries from the entire northeast corner of the map. And alongside the unit you actually get just from your town hall. I think they get a unit from their town hall, so it's been made much easier. Now, annoyingly, the enemy is not really coming for us. Let's try and spread the love, actually. So if we can target those, and if you guys... No, the Ballista will just keep letting do what they want, because the enemy needs to group up for them to be very effective. We'll probably take a few losses from arrow fire. There's nothing we can do about that. Our crossbows, perhaps we should have put them in wide formation, but the enemy is not flanking as much as we had hoped, so let us undo the circle and start hitting our enemies. So you guys all move into position there, and likewise, you guys, if you would, pull yourselves back. And now I think it's time to unleash our secret weapon and charge the cavalry in. They won't know what hit them as the cavalry thunders across the horizon. Oh, look, those Rudar savages are not doing anything. Everybody target them. They're moving and maneuvering to focus on those savages. To focus on the cavalry, sorry. They've seen it bursting down the hill there. Right, you can come away and hit those. I don't really want a frontal charge into Rudar savages if we can help it. There's some Iron Crown warriors over there that have not broken their formation up. Let's go for those. And what has gone on over here? Some hillmen have met our lines. That's alright. Right, off we go. Let's go and get a rear charge on those. Pull the merchants out. Now, as I say, merchant cavalry are not very good. And keeping them in prolonged melee is an absolute ticket to loss. Ticket to failure is a better word for that. We do not want to keep them in. So charge them in, get the little bonus that you get from the horse charge, and then run them away. What is their charge? 4. This is another prime reason why the charge bonuses are being addressed throughout. Because something that is countered is that, yes, the mass stat does come into play in a charge, a unit's charge. But the mass stat doesn't equal damage. It only applies to how deep into the enemy unit your units will actually go. So a high tier mass unit, like a horse or like a dwarf, will punch deeper into the enemy battalion's line, which then potentially means they can hit more units with their initial attack. But of course, that only factors in some of the time, and as is an example proven right here. When I charge into these Iron Crown longbowmen, it doesn't really matter that I may have a higher mass stat because I'm a horse, because they're all broken apart. So we still only hit 1 or 2 units. We're not completely saturating the battalion. So for a unit that should have a good charge, giving it a high mass stat is not enough. It does need to also actually have a charge value. And so, to my mind, when a cavalry unit has a charge of 4, something is going horribly wrong. Because yes, you might be hitting more units because you've got the mass of the horse, but if you're hitting them with 0 attack, for argument's sake, then you're not doing anything anyway, so the charge doesn't make one jot of difference. So that's why I wanted it to be redressed. No matter how poor a unit should be, or no matter how poor a unit may be, if it's on a horse, it's still going to do a lot to you. If you're standing there with a spear and a shield, or a sword and a shield, even worse, and a peasant who's never gone into war before but happens to own a horse charges into the back of you, he's going to do some damage. It's still a bloody horse, even if he doesn't know how to use it. And so that's what we're trying to reflect. Oh, are you running away? Oh no, interesting. There's some pikes in and around here that we want to watch out for, so we're sending the Grimborn Reavers head on. Once they get in, we will jumble. Oh, no, the pikes broke formation right at the worst possible moment, and they are now going to get slaughtered. Cavalry, out we go again. You guys turn and face Witch Knights, and we'll help you with those. So, cavalry, out we go, out we go. What's that over there? Oh, that's ours. Oh, welcome to the fight. I completely forgot about you. Curling around on the right-hand side. And... right, the Witch Knights. Let's charge into those. How are you doing against those pikes? Defeat seems certain. Yes, of course it does. You're up against Grimborn Reavers, for crying out loud. The Grimborn finest. See our merchants there charging into 60 Witch Knights, killing a grand total of 5. Although some of those may have been the Longbeard swordmen. So, doing basically nothing. Alright, you guys are ready to assist on that right-hand side. I think the line, if anyone is in defensive mode, they can now break free from it. Can't help but notice that our foolish siege has turned around and gone in way too close. All of you, just finish those off. What are those Witch Knights doing? Running away. Go and assist those pikes. You guys charge into those thralls. You assist. And you... I don't really have much for you to do at the moment. Curl around over there. Over here. In we go. And you come and hit those longbowmen. We're all going in. We've lost 26 and they've lost 76. We are slaughtering them. Dwarven supremacy at its very finest. The thralls have been charged head on into the cavalry and lost almost none because they're spear and shield units. So let's get the cavalry round and let's start charging them into the backs of some of the units along down here. Shouldn't there be a fourth one? Where's the fourth one? Oh, we left the fourth one in and they've died. Oh well. We killed off their archers, which is the main reason we'd want cavalry as Ered Luin, to be honest.
Good tidings. The enemy.
Yes, the enemy general's gone.
The enemy are badly blooded. They have lost half their men.
There we are, and now we're getting the routing. The pikemen there have all died.
After them.
Yeah, it's
cut
over.
the cowards down.
Some units are fighting on, including the Ballister crew, bizarrely. Right, you guys, stop firing and don't be on fire at will. If I can, all of you, please go and try and chase down that unit. Otherwise, I think that unit is the only one left alive. Ballister crew and crossbows, just in case there is anyone else.
Much in our favor. If we remain true and steadfast, victory will be ours.
Pull everyone else back. You guys can fire at will again, as can the catapult. Is that someone coming in? Oh yes, look, we've got some thralls coming to chase us. And they've broken and they're off. Yes! 532, 2,500-ish. That's fantastic. The highest kill tally, Longbeard Phalanx. No surprises there, they've got such a good name. 340 kills. Second, Ered Luin Pikeman. Again, strong showing from the Pikeman. And the bronze sword goes to... is that 192? I think it is. 192. Ered Luin Pikeman. So there we are. As expected as Ered Luin, 3 pike units claiming the 3 top spots. Taking the swords today to hang on their walls and in their halls with their wives and their children. Yeah, it's what I assume one does with a golden sword, because it's going to be absolutely no use in battle. Isn't gold incredibly weak as a metal and totally useless as anything other than decorative? The bronze guy, though, he'd probably get that sword, would be alright, wouldn't it? But we are well into steel and iron by now, aren't we, in Middle-earth, so even bronze is still far below par. Kill them all. Oh, Afanasir was not the garrison. Interesting. I thought Afanasir was the garrison commander, but he is not. And all the forces have somehow managed to go in there. So Drangu's army has been crushed, but Wolftana stands to the north. We are not out of the woods yet. There is still a sizable force. But turning back to what we are actually up to, we are building an army to go and take Basradum. And they're all, as you can see, making their way... Oh, apart from you, who's heading to Barketa. They're making their way to Gore's Hall, where they will set up, where they will be trained from, and where they will march, and we'll take down the Balrog. As I mentioned in the developer diary that went live yesterday, the Balrog has been fixed. So unfortunately for this playthrough, the Balrog is rather disappointingly going to be a catapult has the Balrog as the general, whereas in your versions, when version 5 releases, the Balrog will actually have his troll bodyguard as the general, which may not make much sense at the moment, but you'll see when we get there what I mean. Just note, at the moment, there's a bug. But it doesn't matter, because the Basradum aspect of this script hasn't been released for the for the wider public anyway, so it doesn't matter. Right, so we've got some troops going to Barketa to reinforce, because, of course, Grinfarn does need to hold on to the things that he takes. Angmar is going to be a strong enemy. But certain units are making their way back. Fahamgathol is giving us some units. We might as well take another Ballaster. They don't slow us down anymore, remember? So you can take them freely. And I can't really get anything else of use there. Neither there. Barketa. Oh, only a Ballaster crew. Ah, yes, because what we really want here is siege, but we can't get it till we're a castle. And a castle needs 1,500 people. And even needing only 1,500, which is a huge decrease from what it was before, still is going to take forever and a day. I think what we do need to do is put growth bonuses in just a few more locations. Just maybe one more building per faction, so everyone has their dedicated growth-like building. So for the dwarves, generally speaking, you want to build mines. And mines will give you your growth, although it's only the tier 2 and beyond. So you can see there you get growth from mines. And of course, every nation has food production, which doesn't list it, but does give growth, because improved food production has an inherent growth booster, but the game just doesn't tell you that. But those buildings do improve growth. But I think it'd be worthwhile for every nation to have at least 2 ways of improving their population size, and then that will solve the problem of never being able to upgrade anything. But it is a bit of a fine line, because the other side of the coin is that if you give too many growth bonuses, the AI seems to really, really favour growth, and they totally beeline for any growth building. And because they can manage all of their settlements every single turn without fail, they are very good at making sure their cities grow. So if you give too many growth bonuses, you will soon find that you, the player, who's a bit lackadaisical with it, your cities might grow every now and then, but the AI is always ensuring that their cities are upgrading, and it leaves you a little behind. Which isn't necessarily actually a bad thing. The AI, for most nations, is quite easily overcome, but of course it can lead to problems, and it'll exacerbate the stack spam. But also, it means that if you then take an AI-held town that's been AI-held for, 100 turns, you'll suddenly find that you've got this overwhelmingly powerful city, which may then springboard your campaign to victory without much more of a fight. So there's lots to be thinking about when you're balancing population growth, but at the moment I err on the side that we don't have enough growth bonuses, and we could do with more. So I think I'll knock up a list of thematically of themed growth style buildings. So who should get growth from what? And we've already got the dwarves, of course. They've already got the mine. I've spoken about it already. But I think it would be prudent to drop... Oh, we don't get mines here anyway. It'd be prudent to drop the mine bonus down so that you get it at all tiers, not just tier 2 and 3. Because you have to remember, of course, mines aren't in every single region. So there's a lot of regions in the game that bonus is totally useless. So I think what we may need to think about really is adding a growth bonus that every faction always gets. So you've all got your farm. Many people have a dedicated growth building, the chicken farming for the Northmen, and then I think there should be another building that every region can build that will give you growth. So that may be in a future developer diary. But I think at the moment it does take a little too long to upgrade towns. RK recently eased this problem a little at the very top end by reducing the cost and time it takes to build the highest tier settlement levels. But that doesn't solve the problem of how long it takes to get to that point, which at the moment is, I think, a little excessive. But anyway, as expected, Wuftana has come. Grinfarn now has 500 less people, and he's looking rather haggard and aged.
And Uftana has also sided with Fornagarth. But we have one key, overwhelming addition to our army here, and it is that the AI has not brought a general. So all of these forces will likely run. Although they have got some Huskarls who look very cool in the field. There's a lot more Wargs in this captain's army. But sadly, as I say, that just won't help them because they don't have a general. So this will likely end in a mass rout if we can just hold the line. I don't want to retreat to a corner and just fight and just corner camp and take the noob circle to its ultimate tier. But of course that is the preferred option. But then actually if we just go and sit in the corner, the AI will just shoot us until we are dead because they've got a lot of ranged options. We are totally outmatched in the range department here today. So we need to somehow force the enemy's hand. And the best thing we've got for that is the ballista. But even then that's awful at really forcing their hand. I don't think it'll do anything. In terms of where should we position that's a good hill, I don't want to go up there because we don't actually get the hill bonus. And same over here, we'd be fighting on a side slope. So I think it's best if we just pull back. No matter how small this little hill here is, it still remains a hill. So this will be our location. This time we'll learn from our mistakes and put the siege further back. We'll group you three together, put you nice and wide, and stand you in front. Now, they don't do as well shooting at the enemy when they're in wide formation. I don't really know why, and I fear it may be hard-coded by the game to actually drop their accuracy if you have them in wide formation, which makes little to no sense to my mind. But it certainly seems that after having played for years now, that when they are in loose formation, they don't get as many kills. So I think the game has definitely done something to counter loose formation, which is disappointing. Right, and then the last three, we'll keep you at the back here, and we'll manoeuvre you as and when we need you to.
Up more men. They hope to make up in numbers what they lack in courage.
Right, well, given that most of their army's coming in over there, let's do a instant turn already and prepare for fighting on the right-hand side. Let's send Grinfarn down onto the left, get him in position as well. Use whatever weapons you can master. And you fellows, yeah, look, they're manoeuvring to stand as one united front, aren't they? So how about we just manoeuvre the entire army rather than a bit of it? So all of you guys go like that. On the right-hand side, if you can, just step a touch further back, and we'll get the cavalry over on the right-hand side as well. And then down on the left, we've got you, and we'll join Grinfarn into your unit. Oh, I've pressed the wrong button there, haven't I? Yes, I have. Yeah, so you three guys come wide like that. And then that leaves us with the ranged units. Keep those ropes tight. Couldn't be more true, sir. Right, into positions. Are we getting shot at? Did I just see us get shot at? What was that? No. Bizarre graphical glitch. Right, whenever you're ready, sirs. The problem with the problem with Ballista, of course, is that they're fantastic at killing big things or targeting specific elite units, but they're terrible when there's lots and lots of things. They're not mass killers; they are specific killers. So they'll do very well against the enemy's siege, for example. I'm sure we'll be able to take that down. And if there was one specific unit we really wanted to kill off, the Ballista crew would do wonders. But of course, today what we really need is a catapult, and I have erred greatly in the catapult and siege department. Our finest possible contribution to the game as the dwarves is the catapult, and I haven't trained a single one yet. Look, they are sending this section round to flank a bit. So let's move you further afield. Remember that most Angmarim cavalry, you can take it as read, that when you're fighting against Angmar, if they're sending wargs at you, they are almost certainly ranged, and they are not going to actually charge into you. But do note, they do have one unit that is a charging cavalry. And I can't remember what it's called. It's one of the Mount Graham ones. So if the name is Warg, you don't have to worry. But one of the Mount Graham units is a dedicated charging unit, so they will actually attack you. But all of these are just going to stand here and shoot us, which is rather disappointing, actually. Although, look, this one has come in right up against us. Oh, yes, please. But look, it's just learnt its mistake and immediately pulled back. We are going to take a lot of losses today because we can't do anything but endure those the ranged fire of our enemy. Ho hum. Right, you guys are targeting that one. You guys target that one. You guys target that one. Siege, can you please... Yes, target the Ballister crew and end them over there. Right, you guys over here. Let's curl you around. And cavalry, we're going to get you involved then. So run over there so that you get a nice run up into your enemies. You guys are going to run. Ah, yes, the enemy has come in and hit our new line. Let's make sure our pikes aren't in defense. No, they're not. Oh, look, they're coming for us over here as well. Rudauer Huskals, of all things. Interesting that they've sent a unit against such a... Like, comparatively, why would you use the Huskals against Ered Luin militia? They're one of our worst units. That seems bizarre to me. Mount Graham Marauders, are you the one I should be afraid of? Yes, you are. There we are. So turn yourselves to the left so that Grinfarn is not involved. Because they're going to charge into you. And you guys try and nullify their charge. Oh no, they're ignoring you. There we are, and then Grinfarn's caught them. So that's taken them out of the game.
The battle is very much in our favour. If we remain true and
Hold the line.
steadfast, victory will be ours.
Go on. Oh, damn. Damn. If you could actually target the machines, not the people wielding them, that's the quickest way to end those. The pike line has to hold because the melee troops are now coming. Although not all of them are a threat. Oh, they've got Northguard. Ah, cool. That is a threat. And our units aren't even facing the right damn direction. You take on those savages, you're fighting those. Right, cavalry. All three of you, Mount Graham Raiders, please. Take those out. We've got a pike unit not doing anything. Let's send those out. You're about to be attacked, so we'll hold you there. But you can curl around and help. It's all going on over there. Wow, they are sending a lot against Grinfarn. That is a whole heap of people. The fact that we are outnumbered is really being felt now. Can you target those hillmen over there, please, and start hitting their battalion? Oh, look how many units we're losing in range as well. Target the Angmarim archers, Iron Crown longbowmen, Iron Crown longbowmen. Oh, they're pushing hard on us there. Look at that. Our Ered Luin pikes are getting shredded. And they've got landsmen throwing axes at us. You guys, have you won? Whether you have or you haven't, you're going in because the enemy's broken through. No, don't even worry about flanking. Just run at them now. The enemy's broken through. Send the general in. You guys can deal with those Northguard. Cavalry, did you stop the Mount Graham Raiders? Oh, yeah, look, you've got them shaken. Oh, that's good. But I'm going to send one of you away and charge into the back of these thralls. If you would. Ah, Ballister crew did turn. Ah, fantastic. And look, with them all grouped up like that, they're getting the kills up. Target the Iron Crown warriors now instead. I'm surprised it didn't give Grinfarn a unique ability. I thought I would have done. No. It's because there was so much to there's so much to any script really that the ancillary pieces always tend to come later. So you'll do the bulk of the script, you'll make sure that it works, it doesn't crash the game. Your beta testers can start testing it, and then you start adding the fluff. And it would seem that I forgot to add any fluff to Grinfarn, and so he doesn't have a unique ability. The Ballister crew is doing very well now. Now target those hillmen again, and we might get a nice halfway house. Ah, you're not doing anything. Come over here and get involved. Let's make it so you can run. Everyone else is doing something though, aren't you? Yeah. Oh, we've got some Mount Graham Marauders charging into us. That's interesting. The Northguard. Ah, yes, the Northguard have gone. That's fantastic. 37 of you. Let's charge. We appear to have won over here as well, where the enemy has blobbed up against us. That 15 cav unit. Just keep fighting those thralls, that's fine. 30, you guys pull out. And over here, where we pulled the pikes out. Go and assist. Ah, no, look, the Huskals are winning, actually. Turn on those. Oh, the Huskals are, in fact, running away. Always nice to see. And keep the Ballister crew firing on those. You're doing really well. And it looks like a charge into the back will break those hillmen, actually. There's more. There's 2 units here. Oh, no, you're not pikes. All right, that's fine. Yeah, there we are. Look, they broke before we even had a chance to actually get them. So, Ballister crew, stop firing at those. Return to firing at those. It looks like we've won over here. Yep, those hillmen are routing and are broken. So now it's the archers. We've got to stop the archers. Cavalry. Are those dark blades? Oh, yes, they are. Awesome. I shouldn't be saying that. They're a fantastic archer unit. We don't really want them in the field, but they look good. Look how slow the merchant cav are. Although he took that guy out, didn't he? Cleared him into the sky. Right, over here amongst the dead and dying, the fight continues. Grinfarn's down to 17. We could do with sending some more forces over there, really. The warriors just do not want to run away. They're going to fight to the death. I can feel it. Form up phalanx. In you go. Come out of that so that you can run. Off you go. Likewise out of that. Let's get going. All cavalry is in at the minute, fighting against something or other. You guys... Where's the last one? In over there. Yeah, go in and join them. Now this is over and we are going to win. But we just need to cement that victory. And unfortunately, the AI is going to keep running away. That's all they ever bloody do. Where's the ballista crew? Did they charge in? Oh, they did. Idiots. Right, you come for those Angmarim archers, and you come for those Angmarim archers. Nope, not what I told you to do at all. We need to stop the enemy from doing anything. Ah, we've won on the right-hand side, just as Grinfarn went down to 4 men alive. Get him behind the pike line.
The enemy
Stand in front of him.
like the coward he is.
Well
Press
done, man.
onward and break the spirit of his army.
So, what actually is still fighting? There's some Mount Graham raiders over there who are still fighting.
The enemy army flees the field.
Ballista
After
crew
them,
has
cut the cowards
died.
down.
Oh, I didn't realise that. I don't know if they ran away or they died. But hopefully the few remaining ranged units we have will deal with those wargs. Those wargs just charged head on into pikes. That's always a fantastic method.
Our men are winning the battle.
Wonderful
If we
path to
continue
victory.
Like this, we will smash the enemy.
Right, so what actually is still alive here? Ah, warg raiders. I'm sure as soon as we get to them, they'll run away. Go on, Cav. You can do it. I don't think we can do it. They're faster than us, annoyingly. Yes, there we are. We lost 827, and that is a big blow to us. But they lost 2,800. So that's not too bad. Golden Sword today nicely goes to the Grimborn Reavers. Grinfarn has truly shown his mettle. 267 kills. The Silver Sword goes to 207. The Longbeard Phalanx, no surprises there again. And then 187, I believe, is the follow-up to that. Yes, 187. Ered Luin Pikemen once again. It's annoying you can't see what their golden sword was. It'd be interesting to see if one of the AI units stood out. I didn't check our ballista crew, but it didn't make it into the top 3, so it obviously didn't get the most kills. But it did very well, nevertheless. Had we a catapult unit in that fight, had we just 2 catapult units, maybe, we would have absolutely decimated them. We really need to start getting some catapults out, because I'm totally ignoring a huge facet of our gameplay. 3,409 if we sold them back, but then they'd all come back to fight us again. And we don't need money, so kill them all. We're going to adopt, I'm afraid, a policy of utter genocide, because it's the only way to ensure our towns don't rebel against us. So every single town we take, the peoples within will be put to the sword. But that's okay, we're dwarves, and they're humans, and we don't want them stinking up and fouling up our cities. Alright, let's improve our roads in for Hamgathol. That's nice. Barketta built a barracks and can retrain some units now. Other than that, though, you can't really give me out. Let's go for the mine. Why not? We got the money. So, Bardi Donionach, Ballista Maker here. Well, that's nice. Carpenter's Hut already. Doomdown War Camp doesn't do anything. Let's delete that. Stone Circle. That's their starting town hall. Oh, there's an apothecary here. Oh, fantastic. Retrain what we can. That's not actually retraining, though, is it? Are we Dwarven? 1%. We're not that dwarven. And do we get catapult here? Would we get it here? Oh, we totally would, because this is a castle. Right, yes, let's secure then... What does that actually need? A steelmongers. Let's get going. Steelmongers. Catapult crews don't have as high a requirement, do they not? 25%. Yeah, that's not too bad. We can certainly reach that. So if we hold at Bardi Donut, which is actually losing money. I've never seen a town lose money. Dear, oh dear.
Aye, sire.
That's definitely a first for me.
Troops there, sire.
In we go, in we go. That army's probably assembled now, really.
Forward.
Seeing some good colour schemes amongst the roster. That's how you know that your army's getting more elite, because the bland colours leave.
Onward. March down.
And we get more blues and silvers as opposed to just solid grey. Although having said that, the Grimborn are black and grey, and the Gabilgathol are brown and silver. So silver's very much the colour of the dwarves.
March.
You've arrived. Now, I ask myself, why am I sending Noi to Barketta? Are you heading off to join up with Grinfarn? Because he's already got enough, to be honest. So what's the purpose of you going over there? Or you could build an armory, but that's a waste of money. Am I sending you over there to act as the... I think I was. I think he was going over to become the governor of Bardi Donionak, so the army could move on. But of course, we don't have anywhere near enough troops to actually move on. But we will try and build some towers, see if the AI comes for us. Ah, the Northern Dunedain, who I'm at war with. When did I go to war with the Dunedain? To take a Numinas, maybe? They're probably going to attack me. That won't be great. But anyway, that will be for tomorrow's episode, because that is going to be where we end today's. So I think that was quite nice. We've crushed the majority of Angmar's armies, one hopes. Let us hope that Arafor doesn't come for us, though, because I'm not sure we'll hold that off as well, particularly with the range strength of the Northern Dunedain. That's the major problem with the dwarves. If you don't get catapults, is if the enemy has a very range-heavy army, they will just slowly whittle you down. It takes longer to take the dwarves out with arrows than it does other nations, but it's still entirely possible, and an imminent threat for the dwarves. So that's something we've got to watch out for. Let us hope Arafor spares us and continues fighting the Angmarim. But until we speak again, dear friends, Navarne den Perimad Melonin, and farewell.